Well, good afternoon and welcome to Guiseley AFC Radio. I'm Colin Robertson. Alongside me this afternoon is Tom Feeney. We've got full match commentary of Guiseley AFC's FA Cup third round qualifying tie against Halesowen here at Nethermoor this afternoon. Tom, an excellent set of conditions here for a good game of football. The FA Cup, always exciting. It's all set up for a good afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah, good afternoon, and yes, well, definitely against a side which may be a division below, but they found a bit of form recently, and it's going to be a tough game, guys. They can't take this team for granted because with so much money on the line, if you get through to the next round, it really is one of them games where it's going to be a good game of football. You look at the amount of goals they got last time in the FA Cup, they're going to come and attack, and so will Guiseley, and hopefully it'll be an entertaining game, and hopefully one where Guiseley get the win.
Well, we certainly hope so. We'll come to the game this afternoon very shortly, but on Tuesday night the Lions swept aside Stalybridge Celtic at Bowerfold. A comprehensive and impressive victory. I caught up with Mark Bauer after the game, and here's what he had to say.
I'm joined now by Mark Bauer after the 3-1 win at Stalybridge Celtic. Mark, very commanding and very dominant performance tonight. You must be delighted.
Yeah, convincing performance. First half, thought we were excellent the way we moved the ball, created chances, got in good positions. That was as good as we've played for a long time. I think it helps, getting to the time of year now where there's a bit of moisture on the surfaces that helps us zip the ball around. Certainly helped tonight because the way we moved it really opened them up on several occasions. Got a couple of good goals, a couple of other openings as well. And all in all, a good performance. I don't think we have really got out of second gear in the second half because I don't think we really needed to. Soaked up what they had to throw at us. They put that extra man in midfield, I think, to counter our extra man in midfield. They had a lot of possession in front of us, which we were happy to soak up and look to hit them on the break. And then the third goal we scored is, won't be out of place in the Premier League. Fantastic goal, and put the gloss on a fine win for us.
Yeah, made a couple of changes. Nicky Boschel particularly had a good game when you gave him a start this evening.
Yeah, he's looked sharp in the game last Wednesday and little bits and bats in training. And obviously changing the formation with Josh being injured, just thought he could fill that left side for us quite well and looked to join in with Boise. And playing that three midfield, it plays Gavin Rother in probably what is his best position. Although then Boise's lacking a partner up front, so it's a bit of a stuck between a rock and a hard place with what to do. But tonight we felt that would be the best way to come up against Stalybridge, and I think it certainly proved to be that way. Boise's had two big centre halves coming through the back of him all night, and he's not had much joy apart from, I said to him at half time, you'll get one chance. The way they play, you'll get him behind, you'll get one chance, and we know you'll take it, and that's exactly what happened. Puts it away and kills the game for us. So it was a good all-round team performance. I thought we were excellent from front to back. Thought Ryan Tulson coming in did a good job as well. Two centre halves, I think, got us up the pitch. Discussed that after the game on Saturday that we got too deep. I thought we got higher up the pitch and played a better tempo. But again, I think the conditions helped that, and we're going into a time of year where hopefully we'll come across this more often. Saturday was windy, it was dry, pitch was bumpy, and that kills the tempo of the game. Tonight we were able to move it quickly and hurt them, and we did that at ease, really.
One thing we did notice, that I don't know if it was something to worry about, but Stephen Drench not taking the goal kicks. Has he been struggling with a knock?
Yeah, just early on felt his groin slightly. He was fine kicking it out of his hands and the moving ball, but that dead ball was causing him problems. So not ideal. Your centre half taking the goal kicks, but I'm sure he'll be fine. It's nothing too bad, and hopefully be fine for the weekend because his kicking is the important part of our game.
Saturday now, FA Cup. I'm trying to avoid the cliches. I'll try and avoid the cliches, but it is a bit of a potential banana skin, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. We've seen it in the last round. We were pushed all the way by Droylsden ourselves. Seen other teams from our league lose to teams much lower down the pyramid than Halesowen. So we'll have to approach it in the same manner as we have done tonight. Make sure that we do carry on the good habits that were part of our game tonight. And if we do that, we've got the quality to create chances, and we've got the place to put them away as well. So it's going to be difficult. Won't accept anyone thinking it's just going to be a case of turning up and rolling them over. It's going to be a difficult game. They had an excellent result last weekend at Matlock, won 4-0 away from home. We've seen the strength of that league below, with the likes of Fylde and Chorley coming up from it and doing really well in our league. So we'll have to be properly at it to make progress.
Mark Bauer there speaking to me just after the great victory that we had against Stalybridge Celtic on Tuesday night, Tom. I know you were there. It was a comprehensive performance, wasn't it, from the Lions?
Yeah, I think the first half really was. Danny Boschel dictated the pace of the game, and he had such an impressive performance. It's a shame he isn't going to be playing today. And, like Mark said, the second half, 3-0 up, they didn't have to get out of second gear. Stalybridge tried to get forward and create options. It just didn't really happen until the last minute of the game. They scored a really good goal, it has to be said. But really, for guys, it was an impressive display to go to a ground, a tough place to go to, and to really dictate the whole game was, great to see.
Well, welcome back to Nethermoor for this afternoon's FA Cup third round qualifying match between Guiseley AFC and Halesowen. Let's go through the team news. First, Guiseley, who got through to this stage of the competition with a 1-0 victory at Evo Stick Division 1 North side Droylsden in a close-fought match. It saw Stephen Drench have to save a penalty. Today they've had to make a few changes. Stephen Drench remains in goal after a bit of a scare with a pull and an injury midweek. But it's going to be a makeshift back four. Ryan Tulson, Ellis, Jake Skelton, who comes in from Leeds United on a month's loan, and Danny Lowe moves to left back in holding midfielder Andy Holdsworth and Jake Lawler. Brooksby, Rothery, Boschel across the three, just behind Adam Boys up front. Today's visitors, Halesowen, play in the Evo Stick Premier, but have had a tough season and were bottom of the division when they were drawn out of the hat to play the Lions, but have since rallied, winning 4-0 away to Matlock Town last Saturday and gaining a credible draw with high-flying Kings Lynn Town in midweek. Victories over Sutton Coldfield Town and Elliston and Ibstock United have got the Yeltz, as their nickname, to this round today. The man of the moment has been double hat-trick hero Isidon Christie, whose 6 goals in the last round brought national attention on the 37-year-old striker, who has a long and varied career in the Football League, including spells at Coventry City, Leyton Orient and Rochdale. This afternoon, the visitors line up with Matt Sargent in goal, a back four of Green, Hull, Kettle and Charlton. Thompson, Brown, Ford, Tilt and Late make the midfield, with Christie and Halsey at up front for Halesowen. Tom, it's going to be a very tough afternoon, and all eyes really are going to be on Isidon Christie. But what do you make of those changes that the Lions have had to endure?
Yeah, well, first of all, they're enforced changes, a couple of them. I think Jake Skelton coming in, he's somebody who Leeds United do rate highly. David Hockaday brought him on the tour of Italy that they had during pre-season, and for him, it's all about getting a bit of first-team football under his belt and going back to Leeds United in a month's time. Maybe it'll be extended, but I think for Skelton to get into that position, to be thrown right in at the deep end straight away, he can't really be placed with someone better than Danny Ellis to help him through this 90 minutes. But you look at Christie, he scored 6 goals in the last round. He's got quality. He will cause problems for Guiseley, and in terms of the attacking element of Guiseley's game, I think, you look at Adam Boys, the amount of goals he's got recently, he really is Guiseley's strongest player at the moment, and it's just about Nicky Boschel. Can he replace what Josh Wilson had brought to the side during his loan spell? If he can, Guiseley will be okay, and it will be a tough game today. I think Mark Bauer knows it's going to be one of them where if they take their eye off the ball, then, Halesowen will take advantage. So for Guiseley, it's just all about keeping their eye on the ball and making sure they get through this tie.
Well, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Guiseley Radio. We like to get any feedback you have on the game. It helps us know that we're actually coming through and you're being heard. You can also email us at radio@guiseleyafc.co.uk. If you're listening in from a Halesowen perspective, we are, of course, Guiseley, but you're very welcome, and we do try and call it as we see it, as descriptive and as neutral as we can possibly be. But naturally, across the course of the 90 minutes, we are rather hoping the Lions might just get through to that fourth round qualifying stage of this competition, because it is so important, isn't it, Tom? I mean, there's a lot of money at stake, but the prestige of these next rounds really grows for sides at this stage.
Yeah, certainly. I think when Guiseley played Barrow a couple of seasons ago at Nethermoor in that first round match, it was a full stadium. It was a fantastic event, and it was great to be a part of that game. And it's not just the money that you get from it, it's the fact that your name's in the hat. Who are you going to get in the next round? There's that excitement. You might get a big name. You're only 2 rounds away when you win this to getting through to that first round, and you win this and the next round, then you're at the first round, and then you've got League 2 sides you could be facing, and you're in the hat. And it's another element of excitement. Although, guys, of course, the season's going well as well in the league, it's just a bit more excitement for the fans, and it's great to see.
Yeah, it just ramps up a stage, doesn't it, now? And even the fourth round qualifying stage, which for a long time was just considered as another qualifying round. You know, I've heard Monday morning it's going to be on Talk Sport, the draw at 10:30, live on air with Colin Murray. You know, BBC have got two teams down here this afternoon to cover this game. The sense of occasion is really building. We're only at the third round qualifying stage. Two teams just coming out at the moment to a large applause from a good-sized crowd here at Nethermoor. We're going to be following, obviously, this game live. We'll give you full live match coverage of this very important FA Cup third round qualifying tie, keeping you up to speed with other games as well. Eastleigh and Halifax, Brentford Park Avenue, Barrow, Hensford Hyde, Oxford City and Solihull. They're in the conference as Premier and North. And in the FA Cup, there's a good number of teams battling it out from our division to see if they can make that fourth round qualifying stage. Bamber, Chorley, Colwyn Bay, Warrington, Fylde are at home to Buxton, Gainsborough entertain Marine, Leamington and Worcester meet each other. Leek and Boston, so Boston travel to Leek Town, tough place for them. North Ferriby entertain Grantham. There's games between Gloucester and Staines Town, Stockport County who entertain Ilkeston, and Tamworth, who played here last week, meet Conference North, Vanarama Conference North rivals Lowestoft as well. So as we get any scores through, if we can, we'll certainly keep you up to speed with them. Let's just go out through those two teams then for you once more ahead of this afternoon's game. First for the Lions, Stephen Drench in goal, Ryan Toulson, Danny Lowe, Jake Skelton, Danny Ellis, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Andy Holdsworth, who's today's captain, Adam Boys, Nicky Boschel and Gavin Rothery. So you'll notice that Ben Parker and Danny Boschel aren't playing thanks to injuries, and that will keep them out for a short while. On the bench, Callum Marshall, Danny Forrest, Redmond Lee, Ollie Johnson and Stephen Dickinson for the Lions. And Halesowen Town line up with Matthew Sargent in goal, Christian Green, Asa Charlton, Aaron Ford, Joseph Hull, who's the captain for the visitors, Curtis Tilt, Joel Kettle, Robert Thompson-Brown, Isidon Christie, Ben Hazley and Christopher Late. And on the bench they have Daniel Bragoli, who was playing on Tuesday night against Kings Lynn, Samuel Pearson, Thomas Tonks, Elliot Turner and Aaron Griffiths. So the referee is out. He's just looking at the two sides today. Scott Oldham. He will be assisted by David Fisher and Paul Ince. We had a little bit of a chuckle about that, just wondered whether the former Manchester United man had decided to take on a different line of involvement in football. That's as far as it goes, I think, in terms of humour for us, Tom, doesn't it?
That's us done.
But this, obviously a makeshift, not makeshift side. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a side that's had to make some changes. There are some good players in here. We don't know how Skelton will fit into this team. And look at him. You know, he's a big lad, isn't he? What, 6'4"? He's taller than Danny Ellis, I would say, by estimation. And we will see how that will pan out today. Tom's desperate to get a word in edgeways, I'm sure, but I've just got to say they've done the coin toss and they're actually going to change ends, so that doesn't bode well, does it? Because we usually have our own routine and superstitions here about Guiseley, so it's going to be a change of ends. There's no low sun, no real wind. I'm surprised at that choice of selection, but Guiseley, who are playing in white with dark blue shorts and dark blue socks, will be shooting from left to right as we're watching this game, towards the bowling green end of the ground. And Halesowen, who are playing in yellow shirts with black sleeves, black shorts and yellow socks, shooting towards the railway end. And they've got a good number of fans behind that goal there who have already set themselves up. Must have realised that was what was going to happen, because the flags are out from Halesowen down to our left-hand side. And the referee gets this game underway. And Guiseley immediately kick off and try to attack this goal. And Halesowen clear back into the Guiseley half, and it's out for a throw.
Well, just one point that I was going to make before the game. Danny Ellis had a good chat there just while they were coming out with Jake Skelton, and Steve Drench just ran over to him as well. So it's just good that the experienced players are just offering the youngster a bit of advice before the game gets going.
Yeah, big occasion for him. I'm sure he's had plenty of experience, obviously, with Leeds, and there's nothing quite like playing in this competition and certainly this level of football. And Halesowen deal with a long ball forward. Joseph Hull shanks the ball up in the air, gives it back to Guiseley though, and it's taken over with Gavin Rothery. Rothery infield here to Brooksby. Brooksby helps it on to Nicky Boschel. Boschel square towards Adam Boys, just above him, but it's recovered by Guiseley. Andy Holdsworth picks it up in the penalty area. There's a firm challenge in on the left back eight of Charlton, who goes to ground. I'm not really sure there was a free kick in that, but the referee's decided there is, and the attack breaks down. But a bright start there from the Lions.
Yeah, well, Andy Holdsworth takes a touch, then takes another touch, and Charlton just gets ahead of him. But Holdsworth gets the ball and doesn't really make any contact with Charlton, and well, the player goes down. I think looking for the free kick, he's got up immediately when the whistle's blown, and it's going to be taken.
Free kick goes long. First one directed towards the main man, Isidon Christie, who's of course got those 6 goals in the previous round. The ball out here to Late. Late on the right-hand side makes a good run down towards the byline, just overruns it. And Danny Lowe gets his first test as left back in Guiseley colours. Does well to stand up to the Halesowen winger, and the ball's eventually out for a goal kick.
It's good play there by Lowe, just making sure that he doesn't do anything silly. He's got that experience. He makes sure the ball goes out for a goal kick, but it does look like it will be Christie against Skelton in the early goings, and that'll be the plan for Halesowen, to try and exploit the potential setback that a player's just come in and in such a key position.
Guiseley have the ball down the left flank. It's up towards Nicky Boschel, sent back towards the goalkeeper, Matthew Sargent. A little uncertain from him. He blasts it out into touch over the changing rooms, and Guiseley have a throw midway through the Halesowen half on the left-hand side. Given to Nicky Boschel. His cross is blocked. Boschel taking up a position on the left flank early on, but I'm sure we'll see that swapped. Ball out here to Boschel again. Boschel on the edge of the penalty area, tries to help it in. It's cut out well, and now Halesowen try to press and clear. Guiseley trying to press and get an early advantage in this game. Halesowen having to work hard. Picked up now by Ryan Toulson rather. And Toulson's ball forwards is a little overhit and goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Sargent.
It's a shame that, because Adam Boyes had got himself in a good position, just too much on it. It goes straight into the goalkeeper's arms, and a bit of a waste though, because Boyes had just peeled off his man and looked like if the ball had been good, he would have had a chance. And in the form he's in, if he's given a chance, there's a very good chance he'll score.
Guys in possession of the ball in the halfway line. Knocked on by Holdsworth. It finds Boyes. Boyes helps it back to Jake Lawler. Sprayed round to the left-hand side by Lawler to Lowe. Lowe over the halfway line, sends it long up towards Adam Boyes. Boyes is looking for it. Sargent a long way off his line. Does well though, and collects and takes it down well at the edge of the area.
Assured goalkeeping there, and I like that in a keeper. He shouted to his defence early, "This is mine," runs out, gets it, and that's all you can ask of your goalkeeper. Lets the defence know, and it breaks up a play where Adam Boyes could have had a chance there.
Ball back in the Lions' territory. And it's in left back, where Lowe takes throwing duties this afternoon. Sends it up towards Nicky Boschel. Beaten to it. There's Boschel. The return ball sent towards the direction of Isidon Christie is too long. It goes out for a Guiseley goal kick. Last week we had a charity auction here. It was held with all proceeds to Royal Bolton Hospital ICU. It was in memory of Paul Robert Drench, the father of goalkeeper Stephen. It was a great night, actually. A performance from Joe Dunwell of the Dunwells Band, who were supporting James Blunt at the Leeds Arena soon. And great support from local businesses. Guiseley Lions, Nuffield Health, Guiseley, Cookridge Hall Golf Club, Milestone Insurance, Good Skin Days, Black Solicitors, Ripon Races, all these guys donating items, and we raised over $2,500 on the night. Looks like we're going to get about 3 as well, so a superb result, and thank you so much to everyone who supported the occasion. There's a throw now for Halesowen on the right hand side. They're just working their way down a little bit into Guiseley's territory. They've got a throw now level with the penalty area. Yeah, and this is the first real chance where Halesowen, they're going to get some men in the area and just try and put guys under some pressure. Picked up now by Rothery. 30 yards from goal, plays the ball nicely out to the right hand side, picked up by Brooksby, cuts in field and goes up towards the halfway line. See, check progress, give the ball to Andy Holdsworth. Now just patiently building up a passing, flowing move down this left flank. Lowe making a forward drive from left back, and in the end the attack does break down and Halesowen recover possession and give the ball out to the left back here, Charlton, who can start a attacking move for Halesowen. A little flick from Christie. Picked up now by Thompson Brown. Thompson Brown under pressure from Skelton. Skelton sends him backwards to Charlton. Charlton's cross is good. There's a flag up anyway. It was up towards Christie. I imagine Christie will have a much tougher afternoon than in the previous round, when he wouldn't have faced one of Danny Ellis's calibre at centre half. But you can see that he's the man, isn't he? He's the man that they're trying to bring into the game at every occasion when they go forward.
Well, yeah, every time they get the ball, the aim is just to find Christie. It just seems to be that simple, but it's a clever play, that, because maybe two defenders then go to Christie, and it means that someone will have that maybe just a bit more room, and that's what certain managers do. They try and make one player look like that's the only aim, and then there's no alternative. And then when the actual player gets the ball, there's a player in loads of space, and that could be the plan for Halesowen today.
Ball with Gavin Rothery. Guiseley still in their own half. Halesowen playing a bit of a higher line and trying to close Guiseley down in possession of the football around the halfway line. It's played forward though now and gives Brooksby a chance to run. He plays a lovely ball in here to Boys. Boys gets past it ahead of the goalkeeper, but somehow manages to direct the target just wide of the upright when it looked like he was more likely to score. A great chance there for the Lions.
Well, everyone from this side of the stadium thought it had gone in because the net rippled. It looked like it had gone in. Fantastic play by Wayne Brooksby. Good play by Boys. I think you've got to give the goalkeeper Sargent credit. He made himself big, put Boys under a bit of pressure, but Boys in his form will be disappointed he didn't get that on target at the very least. Just gone wide.
Guys, almost making the breakthrough. Danny Ellis sends it long. Nodded down towards Brooksby. Helped away by Tilt. Headed on by Ellis up to the halfway line. Nicky Boschel battling for the ball with Aaron Ford. Taken down now by Tilt on the halfway line. He sends it forward, but out of play. 0-0 if you're just joining us here. We've had 9 minutes gone. The Lions closest to getting the opening goal, with Adam Boys just firing wide after being played brilliantly through by Wayne Brooksby. Andy Holdsworth sends the ball down the right-hand channel. Picked up now by Ryan Tilson. Tilson in field here to Brooksby. Picked up by Lawler. Guys, he's still down that right flank. Can't control the ball. It's out for a throw. Ace at Charlton with it. So that'll give certainly some lift to the Lions. So it was just a sense that Hensford were grown back into the game before that opportunity fell. Adam Boys, and it was a very incisive move, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think I've just got to say as well, Halesowen have impressed me just how they've pressed so far. But for guys, it just shows you that little bit of quality by Brooksby. That pass opened the defence up, and if he can do that again, you've got to think Boys would be able to find the net this time.
Well, Nicky Boschel's bundled over and the halfway line. Nothing given against him, and to be fair, I think the referee got that one right. When Brooksby comes away with the ball anyway. Well stopped by Ace of Charlton. And Guiseley recover possession with Gavin Rothery. Andy Holdsworth inside the centre circle, dictating play. Good pass even, round to the left-hand side where Danny Lowe takes it down. Infield now to Rothery, goes for the return ball, but it's cut out. And it's a long one forward here. Ben Hazley has a task on to challenge Danny Ellis for the ball, but Ellis gets there first and sends it back to goalkeeper Drench.
Fantastic defending there by Danny Ellis, because the ball's in the air for a long time, but he's just keeping his eye on the ball, not worrying about the striker who's very close to him, gets his head on it straight back to Drench, and that is textbook defending.
Kicked on and up in the air by Adam Boys. Helped away by Tilt. Good clearance from Toulson. It's head tennis stuff at the moment, up in the air, and this time Skelton can't get there ahead of Hazley, but guys will recover the ball anyway. Good ball from Boschel to find Boys, and then Brooksby almost took over, but a super tackle in on him by Joseph Hull, the captain, leading by example there with a good foot, and that just took it away from him. As Brooksby looked like he was carving open opportunity. Ball back now into Guiseley territory, and Halesowen have the throw midway through Guiseley's half on the left-hand side. Charlton sends it infield to Aaron Ford. Ford has options ahead of him. He sprays the ball brilliantly out to the right-hand side. It's taken down by Christian Green, the right-back, venturing forward. Gives it to Christopher Late. Back to Curtis Tilt. Tilt lofts the ball forward. It's easy for Toulson to take this one down now and start a counter-attack for Guiseley. Sends a long one up towards Adam Boyes. Boyes has got between the two defenders. And eventually it's Tilt who comes away with it for the home side, the visitors, and sends it up towards Ben Hazley. Guiseley intercept and is taken down again by Jake Lawler. And it's a very open game, isn't it? You wouldn't suggest that there's much of a gap between the two sides.
Yeah, definitely. I think both sides as well, just so far, have been using the same tactic as well, of getting the ball forward, lumping it forward, just seeing what will happen. And a couple of times Christie looked like he might be in a good position, a couple of times Boyes looked like he might be in a good position. It's an open game. You'd expect goals in this.
Yeah, big tackle comes in on Brooksby. It was by Asa Charlton. It was one of those, actually. It reminded me of a goal from Jason Cundy back in the early 90s, where he tackled on the halfway line. The ball went flying in the air and over the goalkeeper and into the net.
Well, Drench did just look for a second.
He did,
because he just looked worried there, because it could have gone anywhere.
Picked up now by Andy Holdsworth, back in his preferred defensive midfield role. And he's certainly making a good impression early doors in this game. Holdsworth, the captain this afternoon. Ben Parker, who had been wearing the armband, temporarily out of the side, having had a minor procedure to get back to full fitness. He's replaced at left back this afternoon by Danny Lowe. And at centre half is the man who's just played the ball out of touch with a bit of a wayward pass, Jake Skelton, the man who joined the club on a month's loan yesterday.
Well, it's a good idea there by Skelton, just to try and get it from one wing to the other. He just puts a little bit too much on it, and Toulson jumps up, just misses out on keeping it in play. But it's a good idea, and to say that he's only 10 minutes into his debut, it's good that he's trying to come up with them ideas.
It's always difficult, isn't it? Centre halves coming in, a lot of communication and work has to be done. Sends it back to Stephen Drench. Skelton, the guy's a goalkeeper, sends it long towards the head of Wayne Brooksby, but Halesowen have done well, have recovered the ball now and found a bit of space for Thompson Brown to run into on this left-hand side. He goes down towards the touchline. Men in the box if he can find them. Plays the ball over the head of Hazley, and it's out for a goal kick on the far side. And that was a good move there from Halesowen perspective. Thompson Brown finding some space, just unable to deliver the killer pass.
Well, you look at it there. Hazley goes near post, and Thompson Brown's aim there is for someone to get to the far post. And it just looks like Christie just held back a little bit, seeing if maybe a deflection had occurred. If Christie had gone to the back post, he'd have had a free header, and it'd been a very good chance for Halesowen to take the lead.
Well, a couple of goals. We're getting them from the Vanarama Conference and the Vanarama Conference North. Halifax have taken the lead at Eastleigh. A long old trip for them this afternoon. Hensford 1 as well, Hyde 0. It's one of those fixtures that makes you quite glad you didn't go up Eastleigh away. I'm surprised it's not a Tuesday night. Halesowen again, we're in possession of the ball, but Guiseley have defended it well. Taken a good bit of action from Nicky Boschel to recover possession for Guiseley, but he's certainly played well. Little flick on from Rothery, gives Boyes a shot, just wide of the upright again on that left-hand side. Really well worked from Nicky Boschel first to win the ball back. Well-crafted little flick from Gavin Rothery. And Adam Boyes again with a half chance, takes a drive from range, this time just wide of the left upright.
Well, fantastic play there by Nicky Boschel, because it looked like a lost cause. There were two Halesowen defenders in his way. They'd got the ball, he makes a really good tackle, gets the ball back, beats both of them, and then a fantastic pass right to the feet of Adam Boyes, and he just got his angles wrong just a little bit, just goes wide, but another good chance for Adam Boyes.
Thompson Brown now for Halesowen has the ball inside Guiseley's half. Gives the ball to Ford. Ford back here to the fullback. Charlton sends it towards the head of Hazley, and in the end there's a free kick given against Hazley for his challenge on Toulson.
Well, Hazley's shaking his head there. He's not happy the free kick was given, but he's clearly just caught him there, and clearly a free kick.
Good work here from Brooksby. Now he's tugged back by Charlton. He got the ball down the right flank, was a few yards up from the touchline and beaten the fullback, and Charlton tugged him back, and Guiseley have a free kick, and I should think Charlton will probably go in the book for that.
Yeah, he is going to, and I've got to say, the first, since we've started this game, Charlton, he's been getting into tackles, sliding in, and maybe now he'll have to just be that bit more reserved, and maybe someone like Wayne Brooksby can take full advantage of that and get down the wing a bit more often.
Good crowd here at Nethermoor, and there's a good number amassed behind the goal that Guiseley are attacking now, and it's an opportunity here for Nicky Boschel to distribute. Just up from the corner flag, really. Equidistance between the flag and the edge of the area. Takes the free kick. His cross is punched away by Sargent. Back as far as Danny Ellis, who lobs the ball back in. Headed away this time by Hull. Headed on by Christie, but Guiseley recover it with Jake Lawler. Back here to Tilson. Tilson threads it in towards Brooksby. Brooksby's pass out towards Nicky Boschel was too heavy, and it's out for a throw-in for Halesowen. In the end, it was a good punch from Sargent, but a bit disappointing that the delivery didn't threaten the goal a little bit more. It was a good position for a free kick.
Yeah, I think it's just one of them free kicks where it's just put into an area rather than actually aimed at a man, and Sargent read the free kick really well. Now
there's a good opportunity here. Hazley up against Danny Ellis down the left-hand side. Halesowen coming forward with a few numbers here, but a good tackle from Brooksby. Takes the ball away from Christie, just as it looked like he might be able to line up an opportunity for himself. Nicky Boschel quickly crowded out, sends the ball back to Danny Lowe and prevents the counter-attack from happening. But guys is still in possession of the ball with Lowe at the back line. Thanks very much to Hayley Maud, listening to you today and wishing all the Lions all the best in their FA Cup run. A Lowe's staff, it's worth mentioning, she's a Lowe's staffed fan from Leeds, but guys are a second team, so it's always unusual for the two to come together, isn't it, in the same division? On any grounds, footballing or geographical, really. It's we are. And thank you for your tweet. Guiseley send the ball down the right-hand side. And recover the clearance and give it to Brooksby on the right flank. He's got two men against him. Tries to cross, but they block it out, and it's out either for a throw, I think.
Yeah, it's a throw.
Just up from the corner flag, which is slightly unsighted here. Guys, you have numbers forward. A chance here for Tilson to perhaps to go for long. One, he opts to go short in the end to Lawler. Lawler finds Rothery inside the penalty area, but towards the right-hand side. He's forced back to Tilson. This time a chance for the full-back to cross. He does, sends it up towards Lawler. Cut out well by Green. Picked up now by Holdsworth, but Holdsworth has a loose touch on the ball, and in attempting to recover it, concedes a free kick to Halesowen.
It's a shame, though, because if Holdsworth's touch was just a little bit less on that, you've got 5 Guiseley players in the penalty area, really a perfect position to get the cross in, but really overhit that touch, and it's it was easily taken by the defender, and then Holdsworth trying to get it back, concedes a foul.
Free kick from Sargent. He sends it up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, headed in the air by Skelton. Cleared well by Toulson up towards the edge of the centre circle. Boys can't control, but Guiseley do get the ball back with Brooksby, but again, not the best of passes from Brooksby. It's cut out and it's returned all the way back to Stephen Drench. 0-0 if you're just joining us. The Lions have had the better of the chances. Perhaps as you'd expect, Adam Boyce has had 2 that have just gone right around the upright. The best one, he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Halesowen have had some half chances, put the ball in the area a couple of times. Another goal in the Vanarama Conference North. Oxford City 0, Solihull Moors 1. Good ball here for Wayne Brooks to find Danny Lowe. Lowe into the feet of Nicky Boschel. Boschel cuts the ball in towards the penalty area, but not on the same wavelength as Lowe, and it's cut out by Halesowen, who have Christie on the ball inside his own half. He plays a good ball out to this left flank, looking to release Hazley. The ball back from Tilson to Stephen Drench, sort of hangs in the air for a moment, gives Hazley a half chance of a thought that he might be able to chase it down, but it's dealt with by Drench and out for a throw-in.
Well, just think Halesowen just seem to have changed their tactics just a little bit, and while before Christie was the main target man, it's now Hazeley who is, and just seems like they'll be interchanging that throughout the game, and it just causes guys a couple more questions. It asks them questions, and you know, the likes of Danny Ellis so far have dealt with it really well, but I think that's the way they'll keep going.
Well, it's going to be a tough afternoon for Guiseley, and it's proving to be so far. Good opposition to Halesowen. The ball now with Nicky Boschel, though. He's found Adam Boyes on the edge of the area. He takes another shot from the edge of the D. It's tipped over by goalkeeper Sargent. Well worked there. Nicky Boschel and Adam Boyes just forming a good partnership there for a moment. The ball threaded to Boyes on the edge of the D. Span, turn, shot. Just palmed over by Sargent. Fantastic
technique there by Boyes, and it's just one of them. If it was either left or right of the goalkeeper, that's going in. So it's just straight at him, but the goalkeeper, it's really good reflexes to get that over the bar.
Guys with the corner on the right-hand side. This one swung in towards the back post, up towards Danny Ellis. A good header, but made it cleanly, Danny Ellis, without a marker. But sort of flashed it across the face of the goal rather than on target, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Well, I think that's the case of Ellis just getting caught in two minds, because he can aim that on target if he likes. I think in the end, he feels, does he want to pass it? Does he want to get it on target? In the end, it achieves neither, and it just lands in a place where there's no Guiseley players, goes out for a goal kick, but that was a big chance there for Guiseley.
The goal kick taken by Matthew Sargent, up towards Christie, headed away by Ellis. Christie takes a second ball and blasts it into the chest of Skelton. Still, it's with Halesowen. The ball from Ford out to the right-hand side towards Hazeley. Beaten to it, though, by Danny Lowe. Helped away by Ellis towards Boyes. Good header from Kettle. The centre-half is certainly battling well. Wears a number 7 shirt, which is rather unusual. Certainly at this level where you have 1 to 11 starting shirts. And in the end, Halesowen recover a throw-in on this left-hand side, which Jason Charlton will take. Score still 0-0, 23 minutes gone. In this FA Cup third round qualifying, you're listening to Guiseley AFC Radio. Flick on now from Halesowen. It's a good chance here, and Toulson was in an almighty battle with Robert Thompson-Brown. Toulson had to work hard to make sure he got the ball back to Stephen Drench ahead of the Halesowen man. Arguably a free kick could have been awarded on Nicky Bosch as he went to win the header, but Halesowen have actually recovered it, and Thompson-Brown again in the thick of it. 30 yards from goal, plays the ball to the right-hand side. And Green coming forward now. Sorry, Late coming forward now for Halesowen, gets the cross. Does well to get down to the byline. Again does the winger. This time the cross is cut out by Drench, and Guiseley start the counter-attack. Nicky Boschel on the halfway line. 3 or 4 players around him. Still manages to find a good ball here to Rothery. Rothery plays it into Boyes. Boyes now 3, cleared through on goal. Takes a shot off the inside of the upright. Adam Boyes is having no luck whatsoever this afternoon. The clearance only as far as Gavin Rothery. Now still with Wayne Brooksby. Guiseley almost make the breakthrough. Boyes hitting the upright. But a good ball now from Lawler into Boschel. Boschel plays it out to the right-hand side. Brooksby cuts towards the byline. Takes a challenge from Thompson-Brown. The ball goes into the 6-yard box anyway. Andy Holdsworth is on it. It's blocked, and it's behind for a corner. Arguably a shout for a potential challenge from Thompson-Brown. Could have even been a penalty kick, couldn't it?
Well, I think if Wayne Brooksby throws himself to the floor there, that's a penalty. But Brooksby decides to carry on, and, you know, it's just one of them not being rewarded. You know, you're not rewarded for not cheating. It's just one of them weird ones where Brooksby's taken out there, but he just gets back up.
Corner comes in, up towards the back post. The direction was Boyes, or the target was Boyes. It's headed away. In the end, there's 2 Halesowen players down, I think, who've collided in trying to attempt that clearance, and referee rightly stops the game and gets some attention onto the 2 players that are down. Hopefully that won't be too serious. What a passage of play, though, that built up to that corner, Tom. I mean, Adam Boyes, he's had no luck this afternoon in terms of he's crafted out 2 or 3 opportunities, but that one hitting the underside of the upright, we were sure he was certain to score, certain the form he's been in.
Yeah.
I'd put your money on him.
Well, I thought that had gone in. I really did. I looked away for a second. I genuinely thought that had gone in, and it's just one of them. If Boyes' luck were in today, that's going to hit off the post and go in anyway. Hits off the inside of the post and goes out. It's just, is it going to be one of them days? Let's hope not. But then a very good chance. Wayne Brooksby goes down, gets back up, gets the crossing, and it looks like Andy Holdsworth literally has a tap in, and it's a fantastic tackle just to get it out of play for a corner. but it's just one of them at the moment. Guys, they're creating the chances. They've got to take on sooner rather than later.
Well, it's a drop ball and the two players happily are up. I think you described that far better than I could do as it was happening. There was just so much in that last incident, and really 2 or 3 occasions. It feels a little bit like, the only warning sign is it feels a little bit like on those classic cup upset afternoons when you don't take your early chances. The higher rated team, they then are caught on the sucker punch with the counter attack or the goal against the run of play.
Yeah, and I think the only thing you've got to say is if Halesowen do take the lead, you know that they're surely just going to put 10 men behind the ball and aim for the 1-0 victory.
Rightly so. Low now with the ball for Guiseley. It's a big cross up towards the back post, way beyond everyone, and out for a goal kick. Still 0-0, 27 minutes gone if you're just joining us here. Adam Boyes has had 2 or 3 great chances that he has worked out himself as well. And the latter has come back off the inside of the upright and clear. As he's certainly been worthy of a lead, but they haven't as yet got it. Isidon Christie now takes the ball down for Halesowen. It's cleared by Toulson up to the halfway line, helped on by Tilt. He can't keep it in play though, and it's gone out for a throw into Guiseley on the halfway line.
Well, guys, they'll be trying to get something before half-time, that's for sure. Just interestingly, Nicky Boschel seems to be switching in and out. He's on the wing sometimes he's offering himself as support for Adam Boyes, and just be interesting to see if that can help Boyes.
Now Brooksby's on the ball for Guiseley. Plays the ball straight into Christie. Really careless sort of cross. Brooksby's crossed with himself and now chasing back after Thompson Brown. Thompson Brown plays the ball to the right-hand side rather. Late will take this one down. Chases the ball into the area, forces a good cross on the 6-yard line. It's claimed by Stephen Drench. And guys have come away with it here with Ryan Toulson. It's been an equaliser for Eastleigh in their game against Halifax. Hensford and Hyde is 1-0 to Hensford, and it's a goal to Solihull in their trip to Oxford City. Guiseley, meanwhile, the fans groaning because they can't quite force the ball through this Halesowen back line, who are putting up a good rear guard action, and a very heavy challenge from the young centre-half Skelton on Isidon Christie, and there's going to be some repercussions here surely for Skelton. That was a poor challenge, to be fair, and referees called the Leeds United loanee across to him straight away, but Christie's down on the ground and I think he'll be okay. But referee could bring out a card here, or he could be having a conversation with him. What do you think, Tom?
Well, I think he's just going to have a conversation with him. In my opinion, that's a booking, because he's already booked a Halesowen player for something, you've got to say maybe just a little bit less than that, and obviously there's no malice in it. Skelton's trying to win the ball, but he clearly just takes Christie out, and I'm surprised the referee hasn't pulled a card out there.
Yeah, I am too. I'm pleased, because I think that would have made his afternoon much harder, but he hasn't. The free kick's taken though, and it's up towards Christie. Christie gets a touch on it. It's gone behind for a goal kick, but Christie's claiming that there was a touch off Skelton and it should really have been a corner. Yes, that could have been worse for the Lions. Half an hour gone, still a 0-0 in this FA Cup third round qualifying. Just a quick note to say it was good to see the £600 that was raised from the charity Six-a-Side competition. It was presented this week to the charity In Churches. The competition had raised funds for the Guiseley Lions, and the Lions presented the cheque this week. So that was a Six-a-Side tournament we held earlier in the summer. In Churches, by the way, does good work presenting, helping homeless people, working with 18 churches, 650 volunteers, and they shelter homeless people throughout the winter. So that's a real good bit of good news from the club. Gavin Rothery now on the ball for the Lions, gives it to Adam Boyes. Boyes out to the right-hand side where Brooksby cuts in field. He's got options ahead of him. Nicky Boschel is one of them. Boschel curls the ball, bounces off the defender and into the back of the net. A bit of fortune for the Guiseley side this time. After Adam Boyes' efforts earlier on had come back off the crossbar, this time a rather optimistic effort from Nicky Boschel. Takes a wicked deflection and goes into the back of the net. And Guiseley have the lead. Guiseley 1, Halesowen 0.
Really nice turn there by Nicky Boschel. And when he has his shot, it's just one of them. It looks like the goalkeeper's going to easily save it. Takes a big deflection. Goalkeeper's completely wrong-footed. Goes into the back of the net. Adam Boyes may not have any luck today. Nicky Boschel certainly does.
I don't even know if you can credit it to him, but I didn't see who it deflected off. At the moment, we'll give that to Boschel in the interim. Guiseley lead by a goal to 0 on 32 minutes. Clearance from the goalkeeper, Sargent. Picked up now by Christie. This game far from over, don't get me wrong. Sorry, it's Aaron Ford who picked that ball up. Good tackle from Rothery. And the ball back to Stephen Drench. Long one clearance, and there's a bit of uncertainty in this Halesowen defence when Boyes is on to them. He wins the ball, Boyes, gets it back from Nicky Boschel. Plays it out right-hand side here to Brooksby. Guiseley can press again. Brooksby on the edge of the penalty area, cuts into the area and is eventually taken off it. He perhaps had better options if he could have moved the ball quicker. And Halesowen can counter-attack. And they move it forward with Charlton, but well blocked this time by Jake Lawler, and the good ball forward here from Brooksby finds Nicky Boschel. Boschel tries to play it square towards Boyes. Perhaps could have done better to have gone on his own and had a shot. Halesowen tried to respond late. Tackles himself really on the halfway line. Guiseley recover possession again. Brooksby with a bit of space down this right-hand side. Can he get the ball into the area? He's up against two players, but he gets it square to Boschel. Boschel in towards Rothery, gets it back from Rothery, takes another shot, this time a deflection that's more kind to Halesowen. The man who does the deflection, I think he's taken it in the midriff, hasn't he? And needs a couple of seconds to recover, so Sargent throws it out for some attention.
Well, I think after the last time Nicky Boschel had the shot, obviously getting the goal, he's thrown himself full force into that ball and it's hit him full force in the stomach, and I think it's a severe winding there because he's holding his stomach, and the goalkeeper throwing out of play quite rightly as well, just to make sure his teammate gets, well, a bit of attention from somebody. I don't think he's going to get any though.
And referee's just giving him a second or two, to be fair. I think that's all he needs. He just needs a chance to get his thoughts. He's completely winded, hasn't he? Completely winded him. Referee Scott Oldham showing some good common sense there. I think he needed a moment. Brave block from a firm drive. Guiseley are a goal up if you're just joining us. 34 minutes gone. Hensford are now 2-0 up in their game against Hyde. That's a Vanarama Conference North game. Hensford 2, Hyde 0. Poor old Hyde, they just keep losing, don't they?
Got a good Twitter account there.
Yeah. I bet that one's wearing thin over there now. I'd rather have a rubbish Twitter account and be winning on the football field. Fortunately, we've got both. As guys who recover possession with Jake Lawler. He sends it out towards Wayne Brooksby, who's on the halfway line. Good ball from Brooksby between two players. Gives it to Andy Holdsworth. Little slip from the captain again. Brooksby can't take the ball down. Brooksby gets a knock as he attempts to win the ball. And the ball's with Andy Holdsworth on the halfway line. There's options ahead of him. Sends it back to Danny Ellis. Here's a scoreline to raise the eyebrows. Bradford Park Avenue 1, Barrow 0.
Wow, maybe the changing assistant manager may have helped them.
Now, guys, you have the ball with Lowe down the left-hand side, but up from left-back position in quite an advanced position. Gives the ball to Lawler. And then Gavin Rothery takes over on the edge of the area. Rothery can't get through the several banks of Halesowen players that are ahead of him, so goes back and then gives it to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby likewise struggling to get past. He's closed down by 2 or 3 very hard-working Halesowen defenders who get the ball away. Only as far as Andy Holdsworth. Guys are now looking to press their advantage here. Ryan Toulson down the right flank, up from right back. Plays the ball towards the back post. This time he finds it's Brooksby at the back post. Plays it across to Nicky Boschel on the goal line. Is Gavin Rothery. No one's cleared it until Gavin Rothery blasts it from the 6-yard box against the top of the crossbar. And then eventually punched away by the goalkeeper. Now with Rothery. Rothery drills it in again. Blocked by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper is furious at his defence. Guys, he somehow failed to force it over the line. It's still 1-0 and it's a corner.
I've got one question. How did that not go in? Because there's about 5 chances there. And Wayne Brooks beat so perfectly for him. He's basically got the whole goal to aim at, and he's hit the crossbar. And then the goalkeeper makes a good save as well, and I can't believe it in 2-0.
Corner will come in this time. It's distributed up towards the back post, headed away. And then picked up here by Hazeley. Hazeley's tackled brilliantly by Andy Holdsworth, an excellent tackle, and Brooksby comes down with it on the right-hand side. He's got Nicky Boschel behind him, tries to backheel it to him. Boschel puts a challenge in when he's unable to reach the ball. And in the end, it's helped up to over the halfway line. And it'll be out for a Guiseley throw inside their own half, but the Lions really should have had a second in this game and perhaps given themselves some distance. As it is, it's still a 0-0, thanks to that rather fortunate strike from Nicky Boschel that took a wicked deflection past the goalkeeper, but they have hit the woodwork twice.
Yeah, it's incredible that it's still 1-0, it really is, but...
Toulson with a good ball in towards the penalty area, this time claimed by Sargent. Sorry, Tom.
No, but you know, you've got to give Halesowen credit. I think they approached this game really well, and it's just one of them. Well, it remains 1-0. It looks like Halesowen are always going to be creating chances of their own, and guys are going to have to be cautious.
Ball's given to Lowe. Lowe up to Jake Lawler. Lawler square to Rothery. Oh, Rothery's lost the ball. He's been picked up by Ford. Ford's got the ball to Christie. Christie's in the area. He's tackled brilliantly by Danny Ellis. Guiseley almost gifting Halesowen an opportunity to get an equaliser. But Danny Ellis doing a superb job at the back and producing a super tackle. And now Guiseley come down the other end of the field with Nicky Boschel now. Boschel with 3 or 4 players around him. He appears to be bundled over, but Brooksby's taken on the loose ball on the edge of the area. Through 2 players, chips the ball over the goalkeeper and over the crossbar. And again, guys who do all the hard work, but just can't force that ball over the line. And yet at the other end, could have found themselves gifting a goal to Halesowen.
Well, how is it still 1-0? Because Halesowen should score there. It's a fantastic tackle by Danny Ellis, because it's 3-on-1. And it just looks like they're just going to pass it in the area and they're going to get a goal. Wayne Brooksby then gets the ball. It takes that little deflection, and that's what takes it over the crossbar. If that's going in the top corner, but wow, what a game this has been.
The danger could be over-elaborating, couldn't it? Corner comes in this time, up towards Danny Ellis, headed away, drilled back in by Gavin Rothery, blocked again by Halesowen. Up in the air now by Danny Lowe, flicked on by Ellis, but again it's Halesowen who managed to win the ball, but again super tackle here from Nicky Boschel, gets possession back for the Lions. He's surely been pulled at by the Halesowen man, but the referee keeps play going. Jake Lawler gives it to Gavin Rothery. Rothery's got Toulson on the overlap. He plays him in. Toulson now floats one up towards the back post. No Guiseley man there on this occasion. Good header away and taken down well by Late. And he skips past Lowe, and now Halesowen have a real attack. They've got 3 against 3 defenders. They played it out to the right-hand side. Still some distance from goal. But it's good work from Hazeley. Takes himself past Skelton. Skelton recovers well. Puts in a good tackle in on Hazeley, and it's a throw-in to Halesowen, just about level with the edge of the 18-yard box on the right-hand side.
Well, that's just another example of how Halesowen can go from defence to attack in a matter of moments. Really good break by them. And just for a second, it looked like they might be able to get a shot on goal. Good bit of defending there, getting out of play for a frame, but they've still got to be cautious.
Throw comes in, up towards the edge of the area, headed up in the air here by Ford. Nobody underneath it. Thompson Brown almost gets a shot away. Nicky Boschel heads one on. It's looking comfortable for Guiseley for spells in this game, but then when Halesowen come forward, you do think they've got quality to get a goal out of this, but now Adam Boyes has robbed the defender and then got the ball back from Nicky Boschel and somehow got himself just a yard ahead of the central defender. That was a real chance there for Guiseley. Boyes, just unfortunately, the ball didn't quite come to him quickly enough. And in the end, it's a free kick to Halesowen. Great chance again for Guiseley.
Well, I'm not sure if he's offside or not there. That is so close.
Now it's a good ball forward, and then there's a attempted challenge on Curtis Tilt. Tilt goes down, claims a free kick. Referee theatrically or dramatically sort of waves away the appeal, Scott Oldham. And Tilt is down in the area. Stephen Drencher just patting him on the back. I think Guiseley have knocked it out into touch to allow him to get some treatment. Halesowen players behind that goal feel that Tilt should have had a free kick. What did you think, Tom?
It's a difficult one there because it happened so quickly. I mean, first of all, it would be a free kick. It wouldn't have been a penalty. He fell over in the penalty area, but the tackle was made outside the area. But, you know, the Halesowen fans, you've got to say, they're in a good position, and they all went, well, ballistic, really, that hadn't been given.
They have got a certain perspective on the game, haven't they? You can't really use them as the barometer of whether it was a foul or not.
I just think it's one of them. It's happened so quickly. The referee, though, was adamant that is not a free kick. And, you know, he's in a better position than us. And, well, he clearly must think that a touch on the ball's happened.
I was going to make an adamant joke there. Guiseley have a free kick. It's a good ball anyway. Actually, he's found Boys, who's gone down to the touchline, gives it back to Nicky Boschel. A firm blast from Boschel. Rothery's free. Helps the ball over the line, and finally Guiseley have that second. And from a couple of moments of being under pressure, they get the ball up the other end. It's into the penalty area. Boschel with a shot. Bounced kindly for Gavin Rothery, and Rothery, after 42 minutes, has made it Guiseley 2, Halesowen 0.
Well, I think you can make the same point again because Adam Boyes is having no luck, but this time Gavin Rothery has luck because it's deflected, it falls perfectly to him. He's 3 yards out. It's a simple finish, but he's in the right place at the right time, 2-0. And I've got to say, that's a much needed goal going into half time to be 2-0 up because Halesowen, they just started to be creating a couple of chances. Despite being a goal down, it looked like they might be able to get, certainly get a couple more chances in the second half. Now that goal, it means that Halesowen are going to have to push forward a bit more. It means Guiseley can maybe take a bit more advantage. And, it's just one of them things.
Well, Guiseley now just have to see this one out towards a break. A goal back for Halesowen certainly would change the complexion again, but as it stands, Lions have a 2-goal lead, but they've given the ball away again. Halesowen had a chance with late to get the ball into the penalty area. It's blocked away. Now Brooksby's under pressure. He gives it back here to Toulson. Toulson up towards the edge of the centre circle where Boys nods down, gives it to Rothery, the scorer of that second goal. His ball out towards Nicky Boschel, not quite good enough. And now Halesowen can come forward with Green surging forward from right back. It's blocked and helped away by Andy Holdsworth. Headed on by Hull. Hull, the captain, gets it up towards Thompson Brown. Guiseley recover again. Gavin Rothery wins the ball, surging forward again. Guiseley, the ball in towards Boys. Boys stretching to get on the end of it at the edge of the D. Can't control, goes through to the goalkeeper. Now back out to the right-hand side here, where Halesowen pick the ball up with Aaron Ford on the edge of the centre circle. He sends it in the general direction of Hazley. Ben Hazley's not going to get on the end of that. And Jake Skelton does, and he clears up to the halfway line. Christian Green. The ball forward again. Halesowen again getting it to Christie. Christie plays a lovely little layoff. And it was Late again who was the recipient of that, and his drive has taken a deflection off a Guiseley man, and it's behind for a Halesowen corner. And just before the break, they will be desperate to get this goal and get this foothold back in this game. Yeah,
well, they're pushing plenty of men forward now. And, you've got to say, Christie there, fantastic play. There's fantastic centre-forward play. And, well, when you look at how many are going to get, well, it's actually a throw-in, but you look at the amount that they're going to get forward, the amount of men they've got forward, this is a good chance for them.
I could have sworn he'd pointed to the corner flag. In the end, the throw-in comes in, and it takes a deflection off a Halesowen man and behind for a goal kick. It was a good spot that, Tom, but the Lions in a 2-0 lead as we head towards a break, as are Solihull Moors. They're leading Oxford City 2-0. And we have a goal kick for Stephen Drench to take. And it's up to the halfway line as we just wait to see what's to be added. There'll be actually another 3 minutes of stoppage time in this half, so plenty of time for guys in. Skelton's just gone in heavy on Christie again. That time I think Christie's making a little bit more of it than is merited. Halesowen players are complaining. I don't actually think there's anything particularly wrong with that challenge. I think there's a little bit of drama coming out from Christie on this occasion, but he was a recipient of a very tough tackle earlier on, and I think Skelton, for that reason alone, will go into the book this time.
Yeah, well, I think that's what's happened. Christie's gone down, and you've got 6 Halesowen players running up to the referee, And I think they're making the point here, you know, you've booked one of our players for 1 tackle, he's now made 2, and I'm not sure whether he's going to book him or not. It seems to maybe...
It looks like, doesn't it, Hazley is absolutely furious, as if he's just saying he's going to have another talking to Skelton. And really, if he's got the 1 talking to, you'd expect he'd go in the book for the second one.
Yeah, I think, it's going to be another talking to, and Hazley really is not happy with that. He's shaking his head, he's not happy, but I think that tackle, that ain't a yellow card, that tackle. The first one was, that one isn't, and I think the Halesowen players are hoping it evens itself out and he gets the booking for that one when he deserved one for the first one rather than that one.
As it is, he's not got one at all. But I should suspect he'll definitely go in the book next time he even challenges. Thompson Brown now floats this one in towards a penalty spot, headed up in the air by Skelton. Danny Ellis does want to try to help it out for a throw, but instead it's gone behind for a Halesowen, and this will be a Halesowen corner on this occasion.
And again, you know, they're 2-0 down. They need to try and get a goal before half-time, and they're going to get it's going to be 7 men in the penalty area, 1 just outside as well, and 1 taking, so they're pushing a lot forward. They know how important getting a goal just before half-time would be for them.
Christie's furious with the referee still. The corner comes in, up towards the back post, headed to goal, bound by Joseph Hull, but is unable to keep it under the crossbar, and it's behind for a goal kick. It was a well-worked set piece, though.
Yeah, it's a free header for Hull, but he's in such a tight angle. It's one of them, maybe it would have made more sense for him to head it across the goal just to try and see if anyone else could get the head onto it. Instead, he aims for goal, and if he was going to get it in from that angle, it really would have been a magnificent header. Instead, it goes over the crossbar, and Drench can clear.
Drench with the goal kick. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Guiseley leading 2-0. And they pick the ball up with Gavin Rothery. He's clearly bundled over there by Curtis Tilt. And immediately there's a response. Tilt is being called over, and the captain, Joseph Hull, is being called over. I think the referee just wants to have a chat with him. I think I think it has to be said that what they haven't done is they haven't just accepted the decision and got on with it. The risk for a side, isn't it, when they feel they've been aggrieved, and yeah, they might have a case, it could be a yellow card, is that they then allow that to affect how they're playing the game. And that, to me, was one of those moments there. Tilt didn't need to do that challenge. And then, of course, once he got the speaking to from the referee, felt somehow, you know, he was still aggrieved for that.
And the thing is, it's a blatant foul in front of the referee. It's just one of them where a couple of their players just seem to be getting a little bit frustrated, a bit angry, and that's when you make mistakes.
Header away from the fullback, gives it to Thompson Brown. Good clearance from Charlton. Christie now battling here with Skelton. There's a test for Skelton. He hasn't got that one, though. Christie's got the ball out here to Hazley. Hazley's battling up against Ryan Tulson. Gives the ball back to Charlton. Charlton floats a great ball in, up towards Christie. Good header from Danny Ellis. And helped away up to the halfway line. And the referee calls time on that first half. An excellent first half of football. 3 great chances for Guiseley. 2 of them have converted into goals. And it's half-time here. Guiseley 2, Halesowen 0.
Well, a fantastic first half of attacking football. You've got to say by both sides, Halesowen, they've had some chances, but Guiseley, how they are only 2-0 up with the amount of chances Adam Boyce had alone. It's something where Boyce has hit the post, he's made the keeper make a fantastic save. He's just aimed wide with 1 shot, and then there have been a couple of other instances as well where they've been just great chances. I think a couple of the Halesowen players all agreed that the yellow card wasn't given to Skelton. You could argue that Guiseley might feel aggrieved that they didn't get a penalty when Brooksby was brought down in the penalty area, but I just think it's been one of them games, a really enjoyable game of football, both sides going for it. And, you know, that's what the FA Cup's all about. Halesowen have come here, they were a division below, but they've gone for it. You know, they're trying to get the win here. They're not putting, 10 men behind the ball, hoping for the replay. And that's what's made it such an enjoyable game of football.
Well, it's half-time here at Nethermoor. We're going to be taking a break for 10 minutes or so. We're going to go off air, I think, as well. We recover our breath and try and recover a little bit of energy for the second half because it's been breathless in the first half. Goals from Nicky Boschel and Gavin Rothery have given the Lions a 2-goal lead. Let's just quickly, before we go off, give you any scores we have. We haven't got any of the FA Cup scores in, I'm afraid, but what we do have are scores from the Conference Premier, where in the game we're following, Eastleigh 1, Halifax 1. It's in the Vanarama Conference North. Now listen to this: Bradford Park Avenue 1, Barrow 0. Hensford 2, Hyde 0, and Oxford City 0, Solihull 2. So Struggling Avenue leading at home to Barrow, who are clearly in a great position in the Vanarama Conference North at the moment, towards the top of the table with games in hand over the leaders Fylde. Anyway, here at half-time, 2-0. Stick with us. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to Nethermoor for the second half of this afternoon's FA Cup third round qualifying tie between the Lions and Halesowen. Good news for Guiseley. We're 2-0 up at the break. Goals from Nicky Boschel, a rather fortunate deflection, took it past the goalkeeper, has given the Lions a lead, gave the Lions a lead, and then Gavin Rothery found himself free on the edge of the 6-yard box to blast home. But by no means been a lucky lead. The Lions have been dominant, had 3 times have hit the upright, the woodwork, and fortunately going to the break 2-0 up. The game just getting underway for the second period. Guiseley playing from right to left in this half, shooting towards the railway end, and at the moment defending with the ball going into the area from Aaron Ford, claimed by Stephen Drench, and hopefully a good second half performance, and we'll see this one out, Tom.
Yeah,
get ourselves into the hat.
Yeah,
it's
next round. Just one of them 2-0 up. Just keep it going like it has during the first half.
Oh, and the ball there has just come into the crowd, hit a little girl in front of us. I think she's all right. It's a bit of a knock, bit of a fright, clearance. Right in front of us here. Guiseley have the ball though now with Jake Lawler inside the Halesowen half. Sends the ball out to the right-hand side where Ryan Tilson's stepped a few feet forward. Guiseley still in possession with Adam Boys. And the ball sent back to Matthew Sargent. Have a score already from the Vanarama Conference North. Bradford Park Avenue 1, Barrow 1 now.
Well, that lasted a long time then.
Yeah, I think that might be a whirlwind, might there, of that game. Avenue had taken the lead and were 1-0 up at the half-time. Ball's up to a former Avenue man, Nicky Boschel. It's just bounced over him and headed back by Joe Kettle to the goalkeeper, Sargent. A little bit more controlled start to the second half than there was, but Halesowen are trying to change the pace a little bit. Ball from Christie, tried to feed through late. As you still haven't got the ball away. Thompson Brown back to Charlton. Charlton plays a long ball forward. Danny Ellis gets a head on it. Tilson gets a foot through it, and it's up to the halfway line. Boys does well. He wins the ball under pressure from Kettle. Boys again in battle with Kettle. He gets a flick on. Can't direct it to a Guiseley man. Andy Holdsworth wins the second phase though for Guiseley, and Wayne Brooksby steps in field and starts another mazy run. Plays it to the left-hand side now to Danny Lowe, who's come back from left-back. In position there this afternoon, thanks to the injury to Ben Parker. Boys gives it to Brooksby. Guiseley just holding on to the ball. Not making much headway just at the moment till Holdsworth plays a good ball to the left-hand side, but Lowe's just got himself a yard offside. And it's a free kick to Halesowen.
Well, I'd just like to say happy 15th birthday to Laura Harrison. That is from your granddad who's at Nethermoor today. We know that you do listen and you're a Guiseley fan, and we'll be happy when you come, because apparently it's a 100% winning record maintained since the last time we gave a shout out to her. But in terms of the start of the second half, good to see Danny Lowe getting forward, the fullback, despite being 2-0 up. It's good that Guiseley, despite having that lead, aren't in a position where they're going to try and sit back. They had so many chances during that first half. It's worth getting forward and trying to extend the lead.
Good ball here for Halesowen. Christie's found his way into the area, plays it off to Joel Thompson, Robert Thompson Brown, who blasts the ball over the bar. What a great chance he had just to get the goal that's Halesowen so desperately need back into this game. Good work from Christie, fed the ball through to him. He only had Stephen Drench to beat. Drench came out, made himself big, but nonetheless Thompson Brown has just blasted that one high and wide.
Fantastic play by Christie, because throughout, from the time he got the ball till he made that pass, everyone thought he was going to have a shot. He sees the run of Thompson Brown. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and that is, well, it's 2 points. It's gone so far over the crossbar. He's completely shanked it, and it's just one of them. It's 2-1 so early on in that second half. You've got to say Halesowen would be going in the rest of the game full of confidence. Instead, still 2-0.
Well, guys, you do need to learn the lessons, though, because Halesowen have got goals in them. Scored 4 last Saturday at Matlock Town. in a 4-0 victory. Good, credible draw against a strong Kings Lynn Town side this week. They might be 2-0 down here, but they've not given up the ghost on this one. Charlton with a throw. Plays it into the area. Christie, the man who got 6 in the last round of this competition. He turns, but it's beaten away by Danny Ellis. It's another throw to Halesowen. Lions lead by 2-0 early into the second half. 50 minutes gone. Throw comes long, headed away. Lions have to work hard to hold on to the ball, but it's well won back now by Tilt. Eventually, Danny Lowe steps across and has to go out to left-back position. Blasts it against the Halesowen man who's following him around the pitch at the moment, and blasts up into the halfway line. It's headed down by Ford. And Kettle takes over for the visitors. Charlton sends it long, up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. There's a tug on Hazley by Danny Lowe. And I don't think there could be too many arguments about that, to be honest. There's a free kick to Halesowen. Danny Lowe holds his head in his hand. But he protests. But to me, Tom, that looked fairly clear-cut.
Yeah, he's grabbed his shirt and pulled him, and the play goes down. Danny Lowe, I'm not sure why he looks so shocked, because he's clearly grabbed hold of him. I think it's something a lot of defenders do, and a lot of the time they get away with it. But when they are caught, quite rightly, they do seem a bit shocked. But this is a fantastic chance for Halesowen, because it's in a great position, and it's one of them where Steve Drench has got to be alert.
51 minutes gone. Halesowen with a free kick. It's Late who takes, blasts it against the wall. Cleared by Lowe, only as far as Tilt, who tries to drive it back into the penalty area. Late now takes over, has got some space down the right flank. Gets the cross into the box. Christie can't control. Eventually taken away by Gavin Rothery. Rothery's got options to his left. He's found Brooksby. Brooksby comes over the halfway line, takes on the full-back, cuts in field, gives it back to Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth has got options left and right. Gives it to Lawler. Guys, he just hold on to the ball. Keep it ticking over in midfield. Danny Ellis gives it to Skelton, who sends it back to the goalkeeper, Stephen Drench. Guys, he's not wanting to lose possession, just trying to take the sting out of the game for a moment or two. Now have won the ball back from Drench's clearance. It's Nicky Bosch who sends it up towards Lowe. Good covering work from Christian Green. Guys, they have a throw. That level with the penalty area on the left-hand side. Yeah,
good play by Guiseley, and good to see Ben Parker, who is missing today. He's in the crowd applauding the team.
Lowe now gets the ball into the area. Gives it to Boschel. Rothery takes over on the edge of the 18-yard box. Has a little run with the ball. Curls a shot in towards the goal, but it's gone beyond and over the bar and behind for a goal kick.
I think Rothery there was just surprised with how much time he had on the ball, because he's got 2 defenders around him, putting him under pressure but not making any tackles as he's in the penalty area. So when he then gets the shot, I think it's just one of them. He's a little bit surprised how easy he'd found it, but it's good that Rothery's getting in them positions.
Goal kick's taken. Headed back into Halesowen territory. They recover the ball and come away with it, with Lake now over the halfway line. There's 2 to aim for ahead of him. He's also got Aaron Ford in just in front of him. But guys, he defend well and take the ball off him and give the ball to Andy Holdsworth, who distributes sensibly down the left-hand side to Danny Lowe. As he's just trying to knock the ball about a bit, just have Halesowen chase after the loose ball, take the sting out of this early momentum that they've had in this half. Good ball from Brooksby, finds Ryan Toulson. The right back sends it forward towards Boys, and Boys has worked out some space on the edge of the area. He takes a shot past Kettle, driving shot towards the goal, past the upright and behind for a goal kick, but a super ball there from Ryan Toulson. A good run from Adam Boys again to find the space, just couldn't apply the finish yet again.
Well, starting to feel for him now, boys, because it's another fantastic run, it's another fantastic first touch, and then it's another shot just wide, and the goalkeeper is flat-footed, he's beaten, and it's literally just an inch wide.
Goal kick's taken, headed on, helped away by Danny Ellis. Halesowen take over though with Hull, sending it down the left flank. Thompson Brown chasing. It's up against the fullback Toulson. Toulson is bundled over by Thompson Brown because he gets there just ahead of him. And it'll be a free kick to Guiseley. Stephen Drench will take. A couple of goals in the Vanarama Conference. Eastleigh have now 2-1 up against Halifax. So Eastleigh 2, Halifax 1. And in the Vanarama Conference North, it's Hensford 3, Hyde 0. We haven't picked up scores from the FA Cup games. If we hear anything, we'll let you know. But at the moment, the Vanarama Conference North games are... there's 3 of them today. 6 teams didn't get it out of the first rounds and could play each other. Bradford Park Avenue and Barrow 1-1, and Oxford City 0, Solihull 2 in the other game. Throw in for Halesowen inside their own half. Guys, who win the ball and give it to Adam Boys, and now Brooksby plays a good one over the top towards Nicky Boschel. Boschel's well challenged there by Christian Green, who put a good shift in there to take the ball away from Boschel. It was a good cross from Brooksby. But Nicky Boschel on this occasion not able to get onto it. And Halesowen can come away with the ball. Super tackle comes in here. Brilliant tackle from Andy Holdsworth and keeps it in play. Gavin Rothery gets onto it, but is taken away from him by Aaron Ford, who's been an impressive contributor to today's game for Halesowen. And in the end, it's taken back to Sargent, who sends it long up towards Christie. Skelton can't win the header this time. Christie flicks on, but it's tidied up by Danny Lowe and back safely in the hands of Stephen Drench.
Good defending there by Danny Lowe, just making sure the ball gets back into goalkeeper's hands. But just in terms of that chance that Andy Holdsworth was trying to create, did fantastic to keep the ball in. I think he shocked his own teammates by being able to keep it in. When he passed to Rothery, didn't seem really know what to do with it. Good
ball here from Lowe. Rothery's made a good run down the left flank now. Guiseley have a chance to cross, but Rothery's held up, gives it to Lowe. Lowe sends it into the area. Good work from Nicky Boschel. Boschel drives it in with the left foot, but it's across the face of goal and behind for a goal kick. Excellent work from Danny Lowe and Gavin Rothery in the build-up to that. Good strength from Nicky Boschel. Just couldn't apply the finish on this occasion.
Yeah, he tries to toe poke it past the goalkeeper, and he's aimed it in a straight line from where he's hit it, and it's about a couple of foot wide from the goal. But again, it's good that guys are creating those chances.
Just a quick note that guys who are putting on half-term football coaching sessions for children aged 6 to 12. It'll be running on October the 28th and 30th between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. The sessions are run by our own Danny Ellis, who's in centre-half and having a marvellous game this afternoon. You've got to bring your own lunch and drink, but get booked on. Spaces are very limited. Email ben.walker@guiseleyafc.co.uk. Long ball forward now from Halesowen, flicked on by Isaac Christie, helped into the hands of Stephen Drench. If you want any more information about the half-term football, just go onto the website, guiseleyafc.co.uk. Guiseley have the ball with Andy Holdsworth at the moment. Good raking crossfield ball to find Ryan Toulson. Wayne Brooksby now on the right flank, cuts infield, another one of these infield runs. Gives it to Holdsworth this time. Holdsworth sends it into the feet of Nicky Boschel. Then picked up by Gavin Rothery. Rothery threads it through to Danny Lowe. He's onside. Danny Lowe's cross is blocked. And behind for a corner, but super build-up play again from the Lions. And they're beginning to knock on this Halesowen door.
They most certainly are. And again, you've got to say Halesowen, credit to them for getting all the defence back and being able to get it out of the danger area, getting it out for a corner. But it feels more like when will Guiseley be getting another goal rather than if, because they're just getting so many men forward, they're getting the ball in the right area, and it just feels like it's surely going to happen sooner rather than later.
Corner's taken, floats up towards the back post again where Danny Ellis is trying to get on the end of it. The low light has certainly affected the Halesowen defenders they tried to clear. Picked up now by Gavin Rothery. Rothery sends the ball in just beyond Nicky Boschel, who stooped to try and make connection. They couldn't quite get there in time, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. And again, another good piece of football there from Guiseley.
Yeah, fantastic play. And Nicky Boschel, I don't think he can see the ball fully because the sun's quite bright at the moment, and it seems to just get in his eyes. He stoops to try and get some contact on it when it just went over his head. But on another day, that's free now.
Goalkeeper clears. Flicked on well by Christie. Late. Can't keep it in touch, and Guiseley have another throw. Comfortable at the moment, isn't it? 2-0 up. in possession of the ball. You think that, realistically speaking, the Lions should progress, but football's never quite like that.
Yeah, well, I think guys are also in a position though where they can play comfortably well with a lead. They did it on Tuesday really effectively against Stalybridge, and they've just got to make no silly mistakes, try and push forward, and obviously try and get that third goal. But they'll be happy for it to be 2-0 and maintaining the possession for most of the match.
Christian Green just plays the ball forward. It's cut out by the Lions. Halesowen have bodies in the Guiseley half now. They send it forward with Kettle. He's overhit the cross out to the right-hand side, and it's gone out for a throw-in. We've had 59 minutes gone, still 60 minutes gone rather. I think it's still Guiseley who are 2-0 to the good here in this FA Cup third qualifying round against Halesowen. And they've had their chances to add to the tally, but the best of those chances have come in the first half. They might craft out something else here now with Wayne Brooksby playing it up to Adam Boys. Boys just drops it off for Nicky Boschel. Thumping tackle from Boschel on Kettle to almost win the ball back. And then a deft little touch from Gavin Rothery to take it away from the midfielder in possession of the ball, and he can't quite complete the pass to Adam Boys. Halesowen take it away and send it long, and it's a good one here for Ford to chase. Ford gets on the edge of the area. He's got Christie in field, but he just mishits the pass, and it's out for a goal kick. And Aaron Ford just knows that there aren't too many chances that will come along like that, and he looks frustrated at himself and sort of screams in the air. Goal kick to Guiseley.
Yeah, because if he puts that to Christie's feet, it's surely 2-1, because he'd been one-on-one with Drent, and Christie is a very good finisher. But, it just overhits it. And in terms of before, when Adam Boys just put the layoff and Nicky Boschel nearly got to it, I think if that's Josh Wilson, he does get to it, because Boschel and Boys, they haven't played together that often as a partnership. That's how they're having to play during this half. And just that whole thing, Wilson and Boys, they had that connection that Boys would put them little passes in and Wilson would get to him there. Nicky Boschel, it's just literally half a yard off there. But you've got to think, if these two are going to be a partnership for the next couple of games, that will develop that relationship.
Well, Halesowen Town are making a couple of changes as they try to get their foothold back into this game. It's a introduction for Thomas Tonks and Elliot Turner, and they will replace Aaron Ford and Robert Thompson-Brown. Stephen Drench just has to control a rather bouncy return ball back for him, and it's a good nod on from Hull that's actually given the ball straight away to Brooksby. Brooksby picks it up on the edge of the area, takes a drive behind the goal again for a goal kick. He's just not been able to apply the finish at the crucial moment in this game. A third goal certainly would put us in the clear, but at 2-0 you still think, a goal comes back. They do say it's quite a dangerous scoreline, don't they?
Well, you'd rather be 2-0 up rather than 2-0 down, but yeah, it's one of them where if Halesowen get a goal with 20 minutes to go, let's say, then they'll be doing all the pushing forward, trying to get that equaliser, and it just changes the momentum of the game.
We're using all the cliches because it's the FA Cup, isn't it? This banana skin so far has been comfortably dealt with, but the game's not over yet. It's not over till it's finished, as they say, and the ball at the moment with Halesowen on the right-hand side. Just gone out into touch for a Guiseley throw. Solihull are 3-0 up against Oxford City this afternoon now, so we always seem to see the Oxford City scoreline coming up frequently. This time they're getting a beating at home to Solihull Moors. I would wager Omar Bogle's got a couple of goals again.
Well, they are good value for money, Oxford, because you're guaranteed there'll be goals, whether they're scoring them or conceding them this season. They've scored a load and they've conceded a load as well.
Halesowen now have the ball inside their own half. They send it long. They're sending and committing men forward as they try to get back into this game. Guys have just taken the ball away from them with Andy Holdsworth putting a good foot in. And now it's Ryan Tilson. Right back sends it in field to Gavin Rothery. Rothery controls really well. Showed some great touches this afternoon and plays it back to Lawler, who plays an equally good ball to Danny Lowe. And Lowe, up against the full-back, is held up. So he sends it back to Andy Holdsworth. Guiseley just enjoying a spell of possession that is frustrating the visitors. As they need the ball, and they need it desperately if they're going to get these goals back into this game. The Lions leading by 2-0. Nicky Boschel blasting the ball against Curtis Tilt and earning his side a throw-in. It's actually 4-0 to Solihull now, just as we were saying that. Solihull was 4-0 up against Oxford City. So
by this logic, then Oxford will win the next game 6-0 then?
Yeah, probably. The ball in field from the throw finds Adam Boyes. Guiseley just keeping it on the deck, knocking it around, comfortably playing the football that is frustrating Halesowen. They're not trying to make too much quick progress. They're just trying not to concede possession, but they have done. And substitute Thomas Tonks gets his first touch, sends it over the back line. Stephen Drench comes swiftly off his line, hoofs it up the other end. Adam Boyes has a little nudge on Charlton. And the assistant over that far side, I think, is Paul Ince. He has just raised his flag. I wonder how many times he's heard that in his life.
I was going to say, he won't enjoy all them jokes, will he? He'll have got so bored of them.
I wasn't mocking him. I was merely pointing out the irony of the name. Guiseley have taken over the ball with Jake Skelton in centre half. Not able to follow through. He was tackled, but has done enough to get the ball up to the halfway line. Brooksby then is brushed off the ball, but does well to battle back and win this one. And Holdsworth steps in, gives it to Rothery. Rothery breaks through. Guiseley have 3-on-1 in the goalkeeper to beat. Brooksby gets past the goalkeeper and puts the ball into the back of the net. It sort of trickled over the line. It wasn't quite sure whether Brooksby had made enough of a contact as the goalkeeper Matthew Sargent came out, but his touch sent the ball bobbling towards the goal, and Guiseley have got the third. Guiseley 3, Halesowen 0.
Really important goal this, because you've got to say it surely ends the game as a contest, and Wayne Brooksby gets just enough on it. It's a good side foot finish, takes a big deflection off the goalkeeper, who puts his body in the way, and just for a second I thought it wasn't going to have enough on it and it was going to be cleared, but you know, the way it's been going, if it were Adam Boyes maybe that's what would have happened, but it's gone in, it's crossed the line, it's 3-0, and Guiseley, well, they'll surely now be looking forward to the FA Cup 4th qualifying round.
Oh, let's hope so. It was a goal that seemed to spark a flurry of action on the Guiseley bench. There'll be some substitutes. Be interesting to see who does come on, because the scoreline more comfortable gives a chance possibly for some of the lesser experienced players, although I think I can see Ollie Johnson getting to his feet. We have Callum Marshall and Redmond Lee on the bench. Meanwhile, Nicky Boschel almost robs Joel Kettle, but it deflected off the Guiseley man and out for a throw, and we will indeed, I think, see this substitute.
And Forrest is coming on as well.
Yes, that's right, so it's going to be Danny Forrest and Ollie Johnson. Who would you take off?
Well, it's difficult because everyone's done so well. Gavin Rothery is the one coming off, and he's had a fantastic game, you've got to say, and well, I'm disappointed as well for Adam Boyes. He didn't get his goal today. He definitely deserved one today. He'll be coming off as well. But you know, that third substitute, I'd like to see either Callum Marshall or Redmond Lee come on, because I think in this game it's a good experience to play in an FA Cup match. And if it's Redmond Lee, you know, he's got electric pace, and he could maybe exploit, you know, the Halesowen defence, who are going to be pushing forward to try and get another goal.
Yeah, it could happen, couldn't it? You never know, and certainly with 10 minutes left or so, as it is, it's 69 minutes into this game that sees Boyes and Gavin Rothery make way, and Danny Forrest and Ollie Johnson come on. Two good quality substitutes to be able to draw on. An interesting bench for the Lions this afternoon, because we've also got the very young, pacey and skillful Redmond Lee on the bench too. As at the moment having to work hard though, because Halesowen pressing forward, looking to get something back into this game that could give them some hope into the last 20 minutes. Danny Ellis just taking away the ball from Tilt and gives it to Nicky Boschel on the halfway line. Good footwork from Boschel. Sends the ball out to this left-hand side. It's a good delivery to find Ollie Johnson. Johnson twists and turns, sends Christian Green 2 ways, goes into the area. Johnson keeps going, goes towards the edge of 6 yard box, gives it, and puts it into the back of the net. Oh no, it doesn't. He gave it to Nicky Boschel, who took a shot, and I think it came back off the underside of the crossbar and into the hands of Matthew Sargent. What a moment that was there. Superb footwork play from Ollie Johnson in the build-up. Played a beautiful ball into Nicky Boschel. Just couldn't quite apply enough of a finish to take it away from the crossbar, and then it fell kindly into the hands of Matthew Sargent.
Well, I've said it a few times today, I can't believe that hadn't gone in, because Nicky Boschel, it's a really good effort. Give the defence credit, they threw a number of bodies in there to try and keep it out, and you know, then for the ball to land perfectly into the goalkeeper's arms when you've got Ollie Johnson in a good position, it just feels like some of these chances are just never going to go in.
Guys, he should get the throw in here. Oh, referee's given it the wrong way, but Christian Green earns a throw for Halesowen inside the Guiseley half. It's taken by Tonks. He sends it long, and it's picked up by Guiseley fullback Danny Lowe. He wins a throw for the Lions. Another 4-0 scoreline in the Vanarama Conference North. It's Hensford who now lead by 4-0 at home to Hyde. And there's another substitution here for the visitors. Daniel Bragoli is coming on, and Joel Kettle, the centre half, is making way. So presumably they might just be about to throw a change of formation into the mix and see if they can just change the angle or the dynamic of this game and get some sort of forward momentum. Tom, to be fair, in this second half, we've pretty much had a couple of moments where Halesowen pressed, but it's really been all Guiseley, hasn't it? Yeah, it has. I think the first half was a case that Fine Guys had a lot of chances, but Halesowen created their own as well. I think in this second half, it's been more of a case that they've been frustrated. They've been trying to get men forward, trying to open the door. But because guys have been 2-0 up, they've been able to keep that extra man at the back. But, you know, again, Halesowen, they've had, I can think of 2 chances they've had during this second half. But Guiseley have created so much more. Well, Danny Forrest just pokes the ball away from Halesowen on the halfway line and almost fed the ball through to Ollie Johnson. Good work, actually, from Curtis Tilt, who at full tilt blasted the ball out, but couldn't stop his run and almost fell over the barrier into the stand here. Guys, you have the throw anyway. Gives it to Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson has been held and managed to keep running, but doesn't get the free kick, and Halesowen can counter-attack. They send it up towards Iselden Christie. Stephen Drench ahead of him, and the veteran striker unable to make much headway this afternoon like he did in the last round, where he actually racked up 6 goals. But here, Guiseley have kept him quiet. Danny Forrest now on the ball for the Lions, giving it to Ollie Johnson. Johnson's got an overlapping run in Danny Lowe. Good run from the fullback. Gets the ball into the area up towards Danny Forrest. Cut out this time before it gets to him. Guiseley will win this back with Andy Holdsworth, who coolly controls the ball. Sends it to the right flank where Ryan Toulson gives it back to Holdsworth. Holdsworth into the area. A nod down from Forrest looking for Nicky Boschel. Is intercepted and rather hurriedly cleared into the cricket field by the Halesowen defence. Curtis Tilt on that occasion, who's I think moved back into one of a three-man defensive unit by the looks of it. Guys, he pick up the ball now with Nicky Boschel. He's tackled, and it'll be another throw to Guiseley. And there's another goal in the Vanarama Conference, and it's Eastleigh 3, Halifax 1. Long old trip back for those Halifax fans, isn't it? I'm going to say. Guiseley now have the ball on the right flank with Ryan Toulson in towards Nicky Boschel. His flick is a little bit over elaborate on that occasion, and it's a chance now for Elliot Turner to clear. His clearance or pass forward or whatever you call it was cut out by Danny Ellis, but they've picked it up again here with Late. Late sends it forward, but Andy Holdsworth has closed him down well, and now Guiseley looks to come away down the left flank. Ollie Johnson chasing this one. He's up against the captain Hull. Hull gets a good tackle in, and in the end it takes a deflection off Ollie Johnson, and the referee Scott Oldham gives a throw in to Halesowen. Ollie Johnson doesn't agree, neither do the home fans. And some comments about the referee's visual capacity, but other than that, it's of no real consequence. The throw goes back to the goalkeeper.
I think it's just frustrated Johnson because the Halesowen players are running back, preparing to defend the throw-in. The linesman, it looked like, was going to give it to Guiseley as well, and then the referees seems to have overruled him and given it to Halesowen. But I think it's just Ollie Johnson trying to impress. He's come off the bench. He wants to impress Mark, and try and get in the starting lineup. And just another instance where the referees I don't know whether he's given it right or wrong there, but I think Johnson's willingness to try and impress is the reason he got so annoyed.
Yeah, there's a long throw actually here from Halesowen that's just forced Skelton into knocking the ball behind, and has given Halesowen away a corner. And from the left-hand side, they can float this one in. Not surprisingly, everyone is forward for the visitors. If they can get one back here, they'll probably feel they've got an outside chance of pressing on. 76 minutes gone now, and Guiseley are having to defend a little bit deep just for this moment. Nicky Boschel comes across and takes the ball away from the Halesowen attack. It's back here with Charlton. Charlton plays a good one in. It's headed away again. This time Skelton using his full height to good advantage and plays a good ball here to Ollie Johnson. Johnson and Forrest are up against two defenders. Ollie Johnson runs at the fullback, Green. Green gets the better of him. Johnson recovers and gives the ball out to Jake Lawler, who plays a sensible one out here to Brooksby, but the moment has passed somewhat. Nicky Boschel just cools things down. Rather worryingly, Skelton's on the ground just for the moment. I wonder if that might just be a little bit of cramp or something, because of course the young centre-half, I doubt he's probably played 90 minutes of competitive football until now, at this sort of pace, at this sort of physicality. And Stringfellow's out there just having a feel of the calf, I think, at the moment. I don't know if it's cramp or whether he's got some other problem, but nonetheless he's on the ground at the moment. Guiseley lead by 3-0. And we have 13 minutes to go in this game. Tom, it's very comfortable last 13 minutes, you would hope. What we don't want to do is have any sort of slips and give them a foothold back into this match. But other than that, you can only see Guiseley going through this afternoon. Yeah,
definitely. I think if Guiseley don't make any silly mistakes, they've won it. It's good to see that Callum Marshall, it looks like he'll be coming on, which, I think it's needed, giving, another player from the academy a chance. And, I think this second half has really just been a case that guys have been able to take advantage of the fact that Halesowen have been desperately trying to get forward and try and get a goal back. And, it's just the way that Guiseley, they haven't had to push everyone forward this half. Just like they did against Stalybridge Celtic on Tuesday, they've done what they needed to do to get the win.
Well, Jake Lawler goes into centre-half because Jake Skelton is the man that is replaced by Callum Marshall. So it's a centre-half pairing of Lawler and Ellis, which has been successful in the past, so that's a good option to have. And even though things have had to be shifted round somewhat, you've got Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Danny Ellis and Ryan Tilson as a 4 across the back. It just goes to show that there is strength in depth in this side. And then, of course, Andy Holdsworth and Callum Marshall now holding a line just in front of them. The ball out for a Guiseley throw inside their own half as we head into the final 10, with the Lions leading by 3-0. Sorry, I'm gifting them a goal already. As Halesowen sort of huffing and puffing to try and get back on this ball. But Jake Lawler and Danny Lowe are just quite happy to pass the ball between themselves for a moment or two. Halesowen get bodies forward. Andy Holdsworth is put under pressure. A swarm of Halesowen players around him, but Holdsworth does well and gets the ball back out here to Danny Lowe. But Lowe has just played a rather loose ball in towards Marshall. Good tackle comes in from Marshall as he flew in to make connection with it to take it away from Hazley. Halesowen get the ball back here. Flicked on well by Tonks. Picked up by Christie. Christie with some distance from goal. Gets tackled, but the ball goes through towards Tonks. Good tackle comes in from Lowe. The ball back here with Late. Late now on the left foot, curls this one in towards the back post. Great header from Danny Ellis. I think that might even have been sneaking into the far post. And eventually it's gone behind for a corner, despite the best efforts of Ryan Toulson to prevent it doing so.
Yeah, it looked like that's a goal-saving deflection there by Danny Ellis, because it just looked like it was just going to be curling into that top right-hand corner. Steve Drench would have had no chance, and it would have been 3-1.
All credit to those Halesowen fans still cheering their side on and getting behind them. This corner floats in towards the back post. They claim that Curtis Tilt is bundled over, but the referee doesn't agree. To be fair, there isn't anything really in it. And away comes Ollie Johnson down this left flank. Has a run at Charlton, who's out on the right-hand side now. Johnson gives it to Nicky Boschel, and Boschel spreads it out to the right-hand side where Danny Forrest cuts in field into the penalty area now. Square to Nicky Boschel. There's a bank of yellow shirts ahead of him, but Boschel contrives a great cross. 1-2 with Andy Holdsworth. Gets into the area. A good shot that's really well saved by Matthew Sargent. Guys, he come close to getting that fourth, but a great piece of innovation between Boschel and Holdsworth there. Almost giving guys the fourth goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, fantastic play there by Holdsworth. Really good effort by Boschel. Angles it into the corner, but you know, you've got to say Matthew Sargent has made a couple of really clever saves during this game, and he's helped keep the scoreline down for his side.
Well, I'm sure it's not too often Guiseley fans will cheer Bradford Park Avenue scorelines. This is a good one. Bradford Park Avenue 2, Barrow 1.
Wow.
That's quite something, isn't it? The ball's up towards Danny Forrest. He's been robbed by the man who's moved into centre-half, Curtis Tilt. And it's a Halesowen throw. That'll make a bit of a change, won't it? 2-1 to Bradford. Barrow will have certainly been looking at that at 3 points, I'm absolutely sure. Heading into the final 8 minutes of this game, plus whatever's to be added on. Guiseley leading 3-0 in this FA Cup third round qualifying. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far and the scoreline. It's at Guiseley Radio if you've got any comments you want to share with us. Usually we just like to know whether we're coming through on air, to be honest, if we can be heard. We don't tend to inspire that much debate, but it's been a good afternoon of football here down at Nethermoor. It's been entertaining as well. And Halesowen have played their part, there can be no question about that. And they still might do something yet as a long-range effort comes in from Bragoli. It's high and wide into the car park beyond. And the guys, the side that were pegged back last weekend at about this time by Tamworth, certainly don't look like the same team this week, albeit that the opponents are playing a different division, a lower division, and are struggling in that division, to be fair. Brooksby play the ball forward to Nicky Boschel. Little back flick from Boschel. Brooksby tries to get on the end of it. It's picked up, though, by Bragoli. And now Halesowen can counter. They've got both Hazley and Christie looking to receive a ball. Christie eventually gets a flick on. He sends it out for a left winger that isn't there. He's looking for Elliot Turner to have been in that position, but he wasn't, and Guiseley recover the ball. And now with Danny Forrest on the halfway line, he plays a lovely one into Nicky Boschel over the top, and Ollie Johnson runs and runs at it, but it was always likely to get to Matthew Sargent first. The fluorescent orange kit of the Sargent certainly can't be missed today. Guiseley, meanwhile, somehow contrived to defend as they're pressed by Halesowen. A rather strange attempted clearance from Ryan Toulson. He tried to lob the ball away and skewed it, but it fell kindly into the hands of Stephen Drench. The clearance out to Ward's Forrest can't be taken down, and now good work from Elliot Turner. Invites the challenge coming in from Callum Marshall, and it's a free kick for Halesowen. 6 minutes to go. Still, guys, you don't want to concede to that. I mean, I know it's an obvious thing to say, but still just would rather see this out as a drab ending to what's been a very entertaining game rather than give them that foothold. Yeah,
and I think on Tuesday, Stalybridge Celtic scored really late, and Steve Drench was not happy that he'd conceded. he likes to keep his clean sheets.
Free kick is floated in and then headed wide of the upright, with no real threat on the goal. Stephen Drench moves it quickly forward. Forrest flicks it on over the full-back, and then the two of them have a right old together. Danny Forrest did bring his arm across Curtis Tilt, and then Tilt and Forrest had a grappling match just for a matter of seconds. Tilt is going across to the referee, Forrest is across to the referee, and the referee gets his book out. I'm not quite sure what to make of that, Tom.
Yeah, I don't. It's going to be a yellow card for each of them. I don't think that either of them can complain because they had their arms around each other and were, you know, it really was handbags. But it just seemed like Forrest got a little flick on, was running towards it, got a little bit frustrated maybe that the ball wasn't falling to him, and then the two of them seemed to just have a bit of a shoving match there. But it's yeah, I'm surprised that that's happened. It's 3-0. There's, you know, Forrest hasn't been on that long, and just seems to be a little bit of something between them two.
It's strange, isn't it? Those two haven't had an afternoon of frustration and competitive edge between them, because Forrest has only latterly come on into the game, and Tilt has only latterly gone back into that position. But, nonetheless, 2 yellow cards. That's the third yellow card of the game. Makes it Charlton the other player on a yellow card for Halesowen. The free kick is taken. Stephen Drench, comfortable, takes it out of his goal, blasts it back downfield, and now Tilt is up against Danny Forrest. Forrest chasing it back to the goalkeeper. Tilt gets there ahead of him this time. There's no confrontation on this occasion. Jolly Johnson intercepts the goalkeeper's clearance, but Halesowen still in possession of the ball. And it's out here with Late. Late is blocked by Danny Lowe. Danny Lowe's old side, Halifax, having a miserable afternoon. Eastleigh 4, Halifax 1. And Christian sends a brilliant ball forward. Actually, almost picks out Christie. The ball falls well for Hazley. Hazley helps it out to the left-hand flank where Elliot Turner takes over. Turner infield to Tonks. Tonks tries to get past Marshall. Marshall blocks him well, and now Wayne Brooksby comes forward over the halfway line, plays a lovely ball in here. Ollie Johnson one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Johnson can't beat the goalkeeper, falls to Nicky Boschel. Awkward deflected sort of shot from Boschel. He had a difficult task really to keep that one down, and in the end it's behind for a goal kick. But Sargent's been in good form this afternoon, and that's another good save from him. Yeah,
he keeps doing the right thing. He makes himself big, makes it hard for the striker to get a goal, and he's put his right leg out there, made a really good block there, getting it away, and then Nicky Boschel, it's really tough technique there on the half volley. It's bounced up and he just can't get it on target.
Halesowen now with the ball with Charlton, sends it forward in the direction of Halesley, but it's taken away by Danny Ellis, and now Danny Forrest on the halfway line. Controls well, gives it to Brooksby. Brooksby starts another run down the right flank, this time goes past Charlton towards the touchline, gets a cross that deflects back off the defender and him, and somehow Brooksby still in possession of the ball. His drill across the face of goal is deflected behind. It's going to be a Guiseley corner.
Yeah, it's an interesting one there because hits off Brooksby and it basically falls plumb on the line. Just lets Brooksby then get another cross in, takes the deflection out for a corner, and only a couple of men getting forward for this, but Guiseley fans are happy with with how the team have played today and getting through to the next round.
Well, it's been a good afternoon for the Lions. Late on here, this corner comes in, back towards kind of Marshall. He can't keep that in, and it's curled out and will be a goal kick to Halesowen Town. Solihull have got a fourth in their game at Oxford City, so Oxford City have got one back in their game against Solihull Moors. So it's Oxford City 1, Solihull Moors 4. Still 3-0 to Guiseley here. We just tuned in for the last couple of minutes. It's been a comprehensive and convincing victory for Guiseley against a plucky sort of Halesowen side, who certainly will be of the feeling they've been deservedly beaten, I'm sure, this afternoon. But they've produced some moments themselves, and it's been an entertaining game. At the moment, though, Halesowen on the ball on the halfway line, looking to craft out something late on in this match. Send it up towards Hazley. He's tackled, but recovers the ball, and again the ball comes into the penalty area, and again it's just watched and bounces kindly all the way back to Stephen Drench. Drench blasts it out towards Ollie Johnson, still in his own half. He's closed down by Green. Johnson skips past him, provides the ball to Forrest. Forrest into the foot of Brooksby. Nice one-touch interplay of passing here. Finds Ollie Johnson. Johnson with two players around him. Walks past the tackle of one. Johnson still in possession of the ball. Gives it to Nicky Boschel. Boschel plays it out to the left-hand side. Guys are just holding on to it. Halesowen have bodies back, and then Brooksby is dispossessed. And Late can come away with the ball for Halesowen until he's stopped by a great tackle from Andy Holdsworth. And Danny Lowe and Holdsworth just slow things down in the middle of the park as Halesowen try to close down Guiseley when they're on the ball. Guiseley just managing to keep possession and work out another opportunity down this right-hand side. Tilson is forward. There are 4 white shirts in the box if Tilson can find one of them. Boschel is one of them. He's got plenty of players on him. Looks like he's slipped, but he gets back up immediately. Plays it back to Tilson. Tilson crosses this one in, headed away by Hull. And Halesowen complete the clearance. And then Iceland Christie catches Lowe. It goes down to ground. And I think it was just an unfortunate collision, really, more than a malicious challenge. But I think it was unfortunate the way it touched Lowe, who I think just slightly twisted the ankle. He's back on his feet and no harm has been done. He's not had the game that he perhaps was expected to have, Iceland Christie, has he? Not had the impact, rather. No,
he's been well marshalled by the guys of the defence.
Brooksby, sorry, Tom. Brooksby just on the ball. Looked like he was going to get a shot away. Eventually it's blocked, and now Halesowen, we'll come back to that point in a minute, Halesowen come away with the ball. Perhaps we can come back to it now because they just seem to have stopped making progress into Guys' territory.
Well, it has been a breathless game this today, but I think Christie, he hasn't been Halesowen's main attacking threat. You've got to say that Hazley's been getting forward, creating chances, and
good ball again here, sorry, from Ollie Johnson. Finds Brooksby. Brooksby into Boschel. Boschel to the overlap towards Danny Forrest. Forrest turns in the box. 3 players on him. Gives it back here. Marshall. Oh, saw the glory for a moment. Callum Marshall blasts it high and wide from about 25, 30 yards out.
Well, I think when you're 3-0 up and there's a couple of moments to go, you can laugh about that. But it's nearer the corner flag than it is the goal, and less said about that, the better.
We'll quickly skip over that one. 2 minutes, by my reckoning, into stoppages. I didn't see stoppage time. Tom, did you see how much was being added?
No, I haven't seen the board go up yet.
Guys, he's still in possession. The ball out to wide here towards Ollie Johnson on the left flank. Ollie Johnson is up against Christian Green. Johnson tries some tricky footwork. Green's too canny for that. Halesowen clear, but Brooksby still chasing everything down. Guys, he still look full of energy actually this afternoon. And eventually Halesowen come over the halfway line. Could there be a final goal just as there was on Tuesday for Guiseley to concede? Well, Hazley's got the ball and sent it back here to Charlton. And Charlton back with it after a quick exchange with Brigoli up towards Christie. And Christie again, just to prove the point really, able to get the flick on, but to whom? Well, it's not really worked out for Halesowen up front really this afternoon. Full-time whistle goes. Comprehensive victory for the Lions. Goals from Brooksby, Boschel and Rothery. It's finished here. Guiseley 3, Halesowen Town 0.
A fantastic game of football this afternoon, and you've got to give credit to both sides. Halesowen, they've gone into this game with the right attitude. They've tried to get players forward, but Guiseley, they should have had more than 3 goals. You could argue very easily they should have had 5. Adam Boyes could have got a double, but 671 people have been to the game today. It's an FA Cup, through to the next round, and now it's wait and see who we get.
Yeah, let's not forget, the draw will be very eagerly anticipated. We could have a tune into it if you're listening to Talk Sport on Monday morning. It's going to be live on air, and so it's obviously going to have some precedent, some real coverage, but of course that's when the Vanarama conference sides enter the fray at the top end of the table, and in the end it will be all down to the luck of the draw as to whether we get something that's winnable, something that we can progress with, and we hope that we certainly do, because the prize at stake will then be a first-round proper tie against a potential big club, potentially against a very big club like a Bradford City, a Sheffield United, a Coventry City. You know, there's plenty of opportunity in there for us. So the cup run continues. Quickly, just to go down these scorelines. Eastleigh 4, Halifax 1. It finished in that game in the Vanarama Conference North. Bradford Park Avenue 2, Barrow 1. Hensford 4, Hyde 1. And it's still going, but it's Oxford City 1, Solihull 4. So Solihull will win that game. That's quite a note, isn't it? Barrow getting beaten today.
Yeah, they will have gone to the Horsehall Stadium expecting to get 3 points. They're facing a Bradford Park Avenue side that have just got rid of their assistant manager. He's been replaced. And, you know, they've been on a poor run of form, Bradford Park Avenue. So for them, that is a massive 3 points. And for Barrow, you've got to say it's 3 points lost.
Right, well, it's all finished here. Guys, have won through to the 4th round qualifying of the FA Cup with a fine 3-0 victory against Halesowen Town. We hope you enjoyed today, and we'll be back next Saturday for a trip to North Ferriby. Always difficult actually to get on air there. So touch wood, we'll be back next city for a trip to North Ferriby. Hopefully you'll join us then. If not, get down to the game, and if not, join us there. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining us.